Once upon a time, a little kid named Steve lived in a tiny hamlet surrounded by gorgeous mountains. Steve was an extremely kind and God-fearing man who devoted the majority of his valuable time to God. He used to go to church as soon as he got out of bed, but he was troubled the rest of the day. People in his community refer to Steve as the second name of worry in our village. He just thinks about himself. As time passed, Steve's worrying tendency became more ingrained in his personality. He began to spend his time worrying about unneeded and bad things like what he would do once his parents died, where he would go, and who would feed him when his parents were no longer alive. His head had been filled with such dumb things by this point, so he began to feel miserable all day and curse the deity. The residents of his community would similarly flee whenever they encountered Steve. People now refused to talk to Steve because of his tendency of unneeded worrying. So to pass the time, he would go to a really attractive and relaxing sound-creating river and sit in solitary under a tree. He was thinking that his worrying and thinking habits had nearly destroyed his life. He believed that if I wanted to preserve my life and future, I would have to stop up this life-destroying habit as soon as possible, or it would lead to the endless depths of perpetual misery, disappointment, and despondency. Then one of his few pals noticed Steve sitting there. He approached Steve quietly and asked, "What happened, my friend, and why are you sitting here alone?" Steve informed his pal about his propensity of overthinking and worrying. Then Steve's friend suggested he see a Zen monk who lived in a local monastery in their hamlet. His acquaintance described the Zen master as serious and contemplative. He has alleviated the pain and problems of thousands of individuals. If you go there, you will also find solutions to all of your problems that are hurting your life. Accepting his close friend's point of view, Steve relocated to the monastery where the Zen master with great knowledge and wisdom had been staying in tranquility. The route to the monastery was not simple, and Steve had to overcome a variety of obstacles in order to discover solutions to his issues. When Steve and his companion arrived to the monastery, they noticed several individuals leaving. Steve asked them to pause for a moment and questioned about the Zen master. Those few people informed Steve that the Zen master's teachings and wisdom were unfathomable. "If you came here, you will not go empty-handed." After hearing the unbearable sorrow deep within his heart, Steve sought the Zen master. "My kid, in this world, no one wants to live and stay with somebody who is gloomy, frightened, and unhappy, since everyone believes this sort of person being is doomed. If you truly want to attract others and draw their attention to yourself, you must be pleasant and happy, not just on the inside, but also on the outer." Steve is constantly aware that we get what we focus on. We receive the same difficulties and worries in our life whether we focus on the solutions to those problems and worries. But if we focus on the solutions to those problems and worries, we start obtaining answers to those problems and worries. So it is critical for us to concentrate on what we are concentrating on in our life. Furthermore, you never have to let others know that you are shattered on the inside, since there are less good-hearted and compassionate individuals in this world than there are those who make fun of our unfortunate position. So never reveal your difficulties to others, else no one will stay with you for long. Worrying and overthinking are the core causes of all your issues. That is why I'm going to teach you 4 methods that will help you break the habit of unneeded worrying and overthinking. Following that, the Zen master begins to explain the 4 most fundamental strategies to escape the maelstrom of overthinking and worrying. Steve, never bear the load of undesired, negative, and useless ideas. They will never serve you in any way, but they always have the capacity to harm the calm of your mind and spirit, said the Zen master. Simply live freely. Never mind that latte cannot be wiped. Just concentrate on what you can alter and what you have control over. Don't dwell on the things you can't alter. If you try to modify something that isn't your cup of tea, you'll just get hopelessness and disappointment, which leads to worry and anxiety. Number 2. Steve, my child, never argue with anybody. And fight with any idiot may cause you to lose your inner serenity, which may eventually cause you to worry. Steve, when we debate with a fool, we lose because we are attempting to express our argument to someone who does not comprehend. Only his words are correct in his view, while the words of others are incorrect. Steve, If you can remain optimistic in the face of adversity, you will begin to win in life. So why disrupt your peace of mind by conversing with such a moron? Silence is the finest response a smart man can give to a fool, and by doing so, we may prevent ourselves from worrying unnecessarily. The Zen master paused for a moment after discussing two great techniques to avoid worrying excessively. The Zen master then taught Steve the third option, saying, "My buddy, you know how many such negative and undesired ideas always go through our minds, pushing us to the brink of despair. Meditation can help us break free from its entanglement. We can break free from its entanglement via meditation. Through meditation, we may calm the storm of all types of thoughts that arise in our minds and create a fresh place for new and good thoughts and ideas, allowing us to live our lives without worry. Meditation not only affects us on the inside, but it also helps us look nice on the exterior. Meditation also affects our way of thinking, which improves our overall health. In the fourth and last lesson, the master told Steve, if you want to live a life free of worries, anxieties, and problems, always speak less and only when necessary, and if possible, speak usefully whenever you speak. People will start ignoring you, will not respect you and your comments, and will brand you an idiot if you continue to talk excessively everywhere. As a result, you should only talk when absolutely required. First, we think 10 times, then we speak many times because, unintentionally, something comes out of our mouths that should not have come out of them, for which we keep repenting over and again, and we end up being victims of great concern and stress. Master went on to say, Steve, remember one thing, people will have to listen closely to your comments if you talk at the appropriate moment after considering speaking when necessary. This habit may not improve immediately, but it will improve with consistent effort, and by speaking less and expressing more valuable things, you will surely spare yourself from avoidable hassles and anxieties. After saying this, the Zen master becomes silent and calms down and starts his meditation once again, because the master had told Steve all the 4 best ways to avoid unnecessary worrying and overthinking. Steve understood that the master had said his final words, so he got up and thanked the master for imparting him these 4 valuable lessons. Now Steve bowed respectfully before the master and returned from there now. The people of his village observed some small but life-changing changes in Steve since his return from the Zen monastery. The villagers noted that Steve was no longer worrying unduly about anything. He was no longer the guy lost in profound thoughts that he used to be. He was now joyful, and he radiated happiness and tranquility wherever he went. In this way, everyone began to appreciate his company. Steve's life has been profoundly transformed by the Zen master's teachings. Friends, by putting everything that makes us worried and unpleasant aside, we may build a basic attitude in which there is no place for anxiety and overthinking. Don't focus on your troubles. Instead, focus on the answers to them, and watch as major improvements begin to enter your life. I hope you enjoyed this inspirational story. If you like this tale, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Thank you very much.
Please subscribe to my channel Lessons of Life and press the bell notification icon.